Hello everybody, this is Tom speaking from the future. As I'm editing this video, I thought that it might be useful to have a little bit of context as to where we have been so far on this trip. So looking at this map here of northeastern Minnesota, all of our adventures so far have taken basically along this stretch of the north coast of Lake Superior. We started out here, down here in Duluth in the lower left. Went from there to Two Harbors, up here to Grand Marais, where we were based for several days. Took the Gunflint Trail, which goes this direction, and then a sharp left along the Canadian border up to this area up here. Magnetic Rock is up here. And then, of course, after that, we came up here to the Grand Portage area at the very tip. Went over the border into Ontario, had our geocache adventure right along this area, St. James Bay area. And then we're starting out today in Grand Portage. And the original plan was to go from Grand Portage back to Grand Marais along very windy roads through the Pat Bayle State Forest, which we did. Unfortunately, by the time we got about here, Sawbill Landing or so, we had a problem with the car. And I talk about that a little bit in one of the clips. But I ended up having to drive all the way back to Duluth. And then from there, I had to go straight to International Falls because it was getting pretty late. And so I had to backtrack. The original plan was to go from Isabella to Ely, this little stretch of road, which I ended up actually not driving. I had to go to International Falls, which is way up here. This is where we're going to end up is Ely, but be aware that we actually had a overnight stay in International Falls the night before, and we came back to Ely. Now from Ely, in the next episode, you're going to see us go up along this road here. You can see it here as a very thin gray line. This is County Road number 116, and we take it all the way up through here. Now, at this point, this is the closest road to the Canadian border that we can possibly take. We take that all the way here back to Orr and Highway 53, and then henceforth back to International Falls, and then in International Falls go on Highway 11. This is the Canadian border here along the Rainy River, up through this part of northern Minnesota, just directly following the border until we get here to Baudette. So that's just kind of a little preview and review of everywhere that we've been on this trip. As you can see, we're ending up here in Baudette, but where we started in Duluth. We're actually going a lot more miles per day now. And so I thought it would be useful for you guys to know before we continue on. All right, so with that, let's go back to Grand Portage and the beginning of this trip. Well, it's Wednesday, and as you can see, the weather is not really amenable to filming today. So I'm going to take a little day off today. Well, you know, you won't know because of the edit. But I'm going to go up to Grand Portage and stay in the casino up there for one night. Maybe do some editing. So in the meantime, I do have some rough Lake Superior footage for you. Now this is more like it. So here we are, and we're in Grand Portage here, and we're at the Grand Portage Lodge and Casino. Now this is a hotel slash casino. The casino part is there, the hotel part is there. They have a couple of restaurants in there, the game room, and of course the casino, where I proceeded to lose about 30 bucks on video blackjack last night. But that's okay, because, you know, it kept me entertained for about 4 hours, and if you can't spend $30 for 4 hours of entertainment or more, well, then what are you doing gambling anyway? Not much of a gambler myself, but it was a lot of fun. So today brings us to one of the less, I don't know, less busy parts of the trip. We're driving today westward towards International Falls, and of course tomorrow, hopefully, we'll be visiting the northwest angle. But this will be a quiet day as far as, you know, just a little bit of driving, a little bit of geocaching, and just enjoying this wonderful weather that we're having today now that the rain is done. Hopefully, knock on wood, we will not have to deal with any rain for the remainder of this trip, because, you know, not being able to film in the rain kind of stinks. Anyway, so let's go, and we're going to head towards International Falls. And now that we're in the car, getting ready to go on our way, I just thought I'd mention that we're not actually going to be going around the edges today. Well, I mean, we're going to be going around the edges as far as kind of the edge of where you can go. I'm just going to show you this map really quick here. This is the area, rough area where we are. We're actually kind of over here in Grand Portage at the moment. But this is the Canadian border. This is where Magnetic Rock is. Down here is Grand Marais. We have to go back towards Grand Marais and then up, and then through here, through the Pat Bayle State Forest, and hopefully we'll do some recording while we're en route in there. And the reason, of course, why we're not going to be that close to the border today is that the border is going to be like 30 miles away. The problem that we have here is Boundary Water Canoe Wilderness Area, Superior National Forest, and of course we're going to have a lot of nature between us and the Canadian border. And of course, as the day goes on, we'll get closer and closer to the Canadian border. We'll also be trying to grab some geocaches along the way, so hopefully this will be a fun drive, and hopefully we'll get some good scenery on our way to International Falls. I'm not expecting it to be particularly exciting, but hey, things are greening up nicely over the last few days, so you never know. We might see some wildlife, we might see some nature. So, let's go. And hello everybody, and welcome to Friday. Yeah, so we are in a different car, as you can see. This looks different than the other car. Truth is that I had some problems yesterday in the afternoon with the old car. And because of that, I ended up having to drive all the way to Duluth to trade in that car and get this one. So I'm in a different car now, and it took a big chunk of yesterday. So we're running a bit behind. Now, where we are right now is we're near a town called Ely. And Ely is a sort of a jumping off point for a lot of people who are going off into the Voyageurs National Park, into the Boundary Waters to do canoeing. So it's a funky little town with a lot of restaurants and bars and a lot of tourist stuff that you can do. I didn't stay in Ely last night. I had to drive all the way to Duluth, and then from Duluth, I had to drive all the way to International Falls. And so I've kind of backtracked a little bit here. And we're going to be heading towards International Falls again and staying tonight in Baudette. And then tomorrow, what I had planned to do today, we'll do tomorrow, which is to go up to the Northwest Angle, one of the most interesting little parts of Minnesota. All right, so let's go. Welcome to Ely. See how many adventure and water and lake and canoeing type references you can see while we go down the main strip. It's time to head into the wilderness again.